Hello, beautiful Sagittarius. Welcome to Pure Tarot. I'm doing a series called Vectors of Beauty. The idea was to draw in and look at all the beauty in your life, whether you create it and put it out there, or whether it's something that is entering your life this month. I'm going to draw 5 cards all upright. The idea of the 5 cards is to replicate the 5-pointed star, the drawing, the shape that Venus creates in the sky as she orbits the sun. Venus being the planet of beauty. And the cards are all upright so that we can look at the most positive, through the most positive lens, right? Being that we're speaking about beauty. So let's look at what's happening for you in February. I'll also be drawing some charms just to complement and to get more insight as well. So enough talking. Let's get some cards out for you. Let us look. I might have to pull. Ideally, I want 5 cards, nothing, no other ones. I mean, I've taken 6 for other signs, but let us see. Thank you for your patience. Interesting. Let's pull. Beautiful cards. Okay. So let me show you the Ten of Swords. Don't be alarmed. The Seven of Pentacles. The Six of Swords, the Moon, and the Queen of Wands. It's really beautiful. On this side, right, the first 3 cards that came out by themselves, the energy is a bit more masculine, mainly because of the swords. And for some reason, the Moon and the Queen here, for me, are much more feminine energies. And the Seven of Pentacles is sort of neutral, like hermaphrodite or something. Androgynous as well, right? Interesting. So there's a good balance, right? There's 2 masculine, 2 feminine, and one who would be a mix of both. So that's quite interesting. Beautiful symmetry there. It makes me want to tell you that I feel you might be very well balanced at the moment. You might feel it strongly. You might feel your masculine and feminine traits. One is not overpowering the other. I think you're exerting and living out both sides of your personality, quote unquote. So this Ten of Swords here is really interesting. You know, the swords are crossed here instead of falling straight down, and it looks like a net, it looks like a mesh, it looks like a fence. Those Frost is a company, right? It's a brand. We all know those fences. I don't know if you can hear that. There's like a siren outside. That's so funny. Anyway. I don't know, this Ten of Swords for me is less dramatic than the typical imagery we see. I also like that the woman is, so she doesn't feel like she's being pierced, right? The fence is like behind her. So there's some form of protection. And I also feel like you have something, someone, an energy hovering here, but in a very, I guess, in alignment and in a positive sense. Those are fire trucks. I don't know if you can hear them. Someone needs some rescuing. Knock on wood. I hope the fire is benign and that it'll be put out quickly and without much damage. Anywho, yeah, so these swords for me are like some form of protection. I'm probably going to get crucified by other tarot readers for reading the card totally differently, but I don't care. For me, imagery is the wealth of every deck. And so, you know, this particular alignment and this particular protection obviously is double-sided. So you do have to think about it as could be a form of isolation, which taken too far could be detrimental. But it could also be very positive, right? It could shield you. It could temporarily seclude you, but for a particular purpose. And I really feel like this figure here is sort of watching over you. And I just used the word benign for the fire, so I'm hoping that with the same family of words, right, I have benevolence here. So I sense it to be benevolent. But we do have to draw in the idea that whatever you're secluding yourself from is basically an ending. So after a period of great activity or whatever it was, there's definitely the end of a cycle. And I think you needed a break, right? You needed to remove yourself, or you needed to maybe take a moment to think about it, feel it out, cleanse it out, that kind of energy in that particular cocoon or that fenced-in environment. Whatever you chose that environment to be. It could be just the four walls of your own home. It could be going to, I have the word church. You might have gone to somewhere very sacred. Doesn't have to be religious, right? Simply with the characteristic of feeling sacred to you. Like a sacred haven. A place where you would have been able to process the pain, the painful ending. I really like look at her. She's got these sort of golden feathers in her hair. So that's really beautiful. They could be also leaves. It shows me that she radiates, you know, she's a little bit like a mini sunshine. So that's very important. There's a lot of renewal in this particular stance that you're adopting. I really love that. Here, Saggy, with the 7, that's a lot. That's beautiful right there in itself, right? To be radiating through a difficult situation is quite beautiful and powerful. Next card up, 7 of Pentacles. Another energy, this is the neutral card, right? This is the place where you've been balancing your masculine and your feminine. So I think it comes from this particular warmth here. This is where it all happens. It happens because you process your emotions. You cleanse them, I mentioned before, or you it almost feels like walking through. But I really have the word walking. You might have been going for long walks. Movement might have been beneficial for you. Traveling even. Short distances, right? Not big traveling. Not going far. She's holding like some flowers, or what looks like flowers. They're white, just like, I mean, it's interesting, the white flowers. And she's all dressed in white. I think I sense purity on this card. There's a lot of white light. There's a lot of serenity. I also have suspension. So this moment in time where you're suspended in this neutral position, feeling very balanced, very calm. You're feeling pure again. It's really beautiful. I really like this. I don't know if you can see it. This particular pentacle has like almost like a labyrinth, but it's like a circular, like if you were to cut a tree, right? Like all the lines in the trunk of a tree, but it's also like the fingerprints. Reminds me of the fingerprints. So this feeling balanced out is a sign of great identity, finding your identity or claiming your identity or just getting back to who you are truly, deeply, in the purest sense of the word, right? Or in the purest way. Back to like almost being like a virgin, but I mean, not literally, like just being white as snow. It's quite beautiful. It's so peaceful, especially coming out of the Ten of Swords, right? It's just pristine. The Six of Swords here, it's interesting. The woman is naked. So I think you're able to show your full beauty openly, without any shame, without any reservation. It's really interesting. And there's again the idea of movement on this card. So You know, here there was a bit of movement, but it was very close. This could take you further out to another location, right? I don't know, I really feel like the wind is blowing, it's pushing you, it's timely. This position of the arms is really showing me, you know, you are the archer, so it's almost like the body is the bow and the arm is the arrow, so you're really pointing your arrow out, you're aiming a particular, could be a place, could be an ideal, a cause, you're aiming towards someone. And I want to say that you're doing it very humbly, you know, you're doing it with some sort of inward contemplation, closing your eyes, and there's nothing forceful. It's simply pure concentration, pure focus. And yet it's like this idea of the wind that is blowing. It's not a big storm. It's just the wind is up and it's steady, right? It's blowing steadily. So you're just closing your eyes and letting yourself drift. And yet wishing that this drifting takes you exactly where you intended, right? But you're not forcing where it's going. You're not holding the bar of this particular ship. You're just totally immersed in where you wish that it takes you, and working on the inward manifestation of what that is, of where that is. Or both. What, where, when. All of those. It's really beautiful. It's really another form of quiet surrender, right? Just being pure, being totally vulnerable by being naked. It's really interesting. I just got the idea that the wind is the beauty. It's the beauty that is moving you. The beauty of life. Beauty of life. The moon here. She's sitting on the crescent, right? On the moon crescent. So in that sense, she's like that character in one of the tales, right? Where she's sitting on the moon. She's quite comfortable where she is. Her face shows me that, you know, there's even further surrender. I mean, it's incredible the way it unfolds. You just get deeper and deeper into surrendering and allowing. There's a deeper, you know, eyes are closed again, just like on this card. There's no more control. That's gone. The control that was exerted prior is gone. I'm wondering, I think maybe I have the word dream. I also have the word imagination. So I think this is another place where beauty lies. There was beauty in the wind, and now there's beauty in your imagination, right? But it's like sort of, it's very deep. It could be that it's not yet so much on the surface. It's just, it's almost like like if you were to see a river, it's in the bed of the river. And I say that because of all these little moon crescents that are drawn on the shape of the moon. So it's like depth into depth into depth, right? Layers and layers and layers and layers. And so this can only be accessed through total surrender. It's almost like it's trust. You gotta trust. It comes up as you gotta trust the moon. Maybe if you're a woman, maybe the moon cycles are really important to you, or maybe they should become, or I don't want to use the word should, but maybe they could become more important for you in terms of what you discover, the kind of beauty that you pick, or that comes up, that surfaces out of this depth, out of this riverbed of images, of emotions, of souvenirs. I'm thinking there's great beauty to be harvested. That's what it feels like. It's all inside of you. It's inside of your relationship, maybe more to the feminine side with the moon. But also a hidden part of you, right? Something that is very often unconscious, right? And then you bloom into this beautiful Queen of Wands. It's like once you access all of this beauty, it's sort of it makes you bloom. It makes you I have the word, it activates you. Like power activation or something. It's really interesting because the characters in the back of this card have their wands ready, right? There's sort of more, they're kind of like, almost like on the Five of Wands card, like they're sort of fighting or sort of sparring or defending themselves, even on the Seven of Wands. 5, 7 of Wands, right? Energy. There's how many characters are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It could be 6 or 7 actually. And yet she's standing in front, a little bit like this image where she's in front of the fence, right? So, and she's not defending herself. She doesn't need to. And she doesn't need to fight. There's no more fighting. She just needs to stand tall because she knows herself. she's reached a point where she knows herself. She's really mastered or leveled up, or definitely, you know, just by aligning the masculine and the feminine, and, you know, surrendering, allowing for the inner traveling, and accessing the depth of her imagination. She finally reaches a point where she's whole. She's whole again. And she can really stand in her beauty in a different way than, you know, here where she's naked. Now she's dressed. I feel like she's dressed in her own style. For some reason, I'm looking at that jacket or coat, whatever. It has like almost fur, or I don't know what it is here. There's a lining that's different from the fabric. And she has a flowy bluish dress. It reminds me of the element of water, although she's fire, right? She's, you know, there's water on the moon, and there's water, although it's swords, there's water because it's the Six of Swords, and there's a boat traveling through water, on water. Interesting. Let's get some charms. It's like a soul journey, literally, Sag. Okay. You have... so you need to water something. You need to water your plants. I think you need to water your soul. So I'm going to put it on the moon. Yeah, you need to water your soul. I have the little bunny rabbit. I don't know, let me turn it around. The little bunny. For some reason, I want the bunny on the Queen of Wands. Maybe it's rabbit fur on her coat. Maybe, you know, she's definitely hopping. I mean, she doesn't look like she's hopping on this card, but the Queen of Wands would be, you know, someone spunky in terms of her personality. Then we have the little mini shovel, right, for when you want to garden. So tending to your garden is on the Seven of Pentacles, where you've planted your seeds. You're watching that beautiful alignment, you know, bloom. Again, there's another idea of blooming. Maybe that's what it is. You reproduce, you know, you're able to reproduce yourself. And I don't mean like cloning yourself and becoming, you know, there's many of you, just meaning almost like the idea that you're recreating yourself constantly. And then we have this intriguing little bench here, like with two little doves, a place where lovers would meet. I'm going to put that on the Six of Swords. The wind is blowing you towards an unknown destination, right? Where, whether there's someone waiting for you or not, there's a place for you. So a place where you can sit, and it's your place, right? So maybe that's where you're gently aiming to your own place in the world. That's interesting. So, you know, don't hesitate to be creative with the little bunny and the Queen of Wands. Turn around you. Don't hesitate to be very prolific. That's what it is. It's being prolific. So whatever you create, just create some more beauty. We need more beauty in the world. And you would be a great vector of beauty, Sagittarius, for the rest of February, but I do want to say probably for the whole year as well. Anyways, that's what it is. I hope you liked it. I'll see you soon. Ciao.